Hey y'all. Have you ever felt like you've done all the right things? You've made the plan, followed the steps, and still hit a wall? That's the difference between blueprints and breakthroughs. The blueprint is what you build, the breakthrough is what builds you. In this episode, Blueprints and Breakthroughs, I'm sharing real talk, you know what I'm saying? On how to create your path and stay open to the unexpected moments that change everything. Because don't forget, success isn't just strategy, it's soul. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, on this episode, Blueprints and Breakthroughs, this one hits a little different for me because I really feel like there's no age gap. I feel like if you have a plan, you have a plan. If you're going through breakthroughs, it does not matter in terms of age because you can sit here and be a teenager and go through hardships that a lot of people probably wouldn't expect and really see it for what it is as we get older. Like I always say, everyone's life is different. I feel like when it comes down to life, in general, not even speaking on steps, you do not know how the next person was raised. You do not know what different people go through in life. So even though someone is a teenager or someone is a grown adult, how is that mindset though? Because you can be speaking to an adult and then when you look at their actions, it's like as if they're still a child. So you can't define a person based on the age. For me personally, I would say the mindset because you can say anything you want to say. You can say anything you want to say to a person, but the most important thing is look at the actions that they take. Like look at the way that they're moving. So, back on topic. In terms of blueprints, I feel like you come to a certain point in life and you're just like, hey, I'm tired of going with the flow. I already have an image of how my life is going to be. At some point, all of this hard work is going to pay off, but am I going to sit here and be consistent with it? Because you can sit here on a Tuesday and make all these boss moves. And then when you finally get what you've been working hard for, are you going to keep up with it? Because you can get it today and then not properly take care of it and it's gone tomorrow. And now you have to start all over. I'm not going to say that's it for you. It's not. All you would have to do is start over. And in the midst of sitting here creating blueprints, like I always say, when you try something on the first time, it's not always going to go according to plan. You know, it could be people out there, they're working on something or they're doing something and it's a-okay on the first time. I would like to say cheers to y'all. Because anything you do once, it's not going to be perfect. You know, the world may see it as perfect, but understand this is your life. If you do not see it as that, keep working until you sit here and make yourself happy. And then in terms of blueprints, you know, we all have people. You could have a partner, you could have family, you could have friends, it could be anybody. And they're sitting here and they're giving you their opinions, and that's fine. No one's faulting anyone for giving their opinions. It is what it is. Maybe you see my life in a different way than I see the path that I'm going down right now or the steps that I'm making right now to get the income, the outcome of what I'm looking for. That's okay. If you have any gestures for me, of course you can give it to me, but in the same stance, you cannot sit here and be mad because I did not follow every single thing that you gave to me. Because think about it. This is not your life. This is my life. I do appreciate the help and everything. I would never fault a person for sitting here trying to help me, or it's just like, hey girl, you are moving down the wrong steps. if this is your end goal, mind you, I've never went through what you're going through, but I'm seeing certain steps where it could have been a better result for you if you did that instead of that. That's cool. I'll take it, and it's my choice if I decide to choose that or not. You can't sit here and be mad at me because I didn't follow what you said. Again, this is not your life. If you're mad because I didn't take everything that you said and implemented that into my life, I don't know what to tell you. I've never faulted you. If you really think about it, you faulted yourself because you're sitting here thinking about whatever you have going on. You think that's the way I viewed it, and I did not. So at that point, it's not more so on me. That's more so on you because I never made you feel no type of way. And in terms of the blueprints and everything, so you wrote your whole plan down. You know what I'm saying? And here is where, unfortunately, a few breakthroughs can come through. Because just like I said, what if you attempted to follow the steps in your blueprint and everything, and you just feel like it is just not working out? It is okay. The only thing that I would say is never give up. Never give up. Because if you sit here and give up on something that you've been working hard for, and you just think, it's not working, I'm done with it, you will regret that for the rest of your life. Do not give up on something that you know is yours. I don't care what the outsiders are saying. I don't care what people are saying to you. Do not let that make you feel no type of way, because these people are going to go on with their lives and you're going to be the only one sitting there like, man, I should have did what I always wanted to do. Why did I listen to that? And think about it. It is not those people. It is not your family. It is not your friends. It is not your partner's fault, because like we've been talking about, this is your life. If you sit here and listen to what other people are saying that prevents you from doing what you want to do, you have no one to blame but yourself. You cannot say, I felt pressure. That's your fault. Why did you give in to that pressure? You know what I'm saying? If it's your life, make it do what it do. So you're sitting here and you're trying, and you just like, yo, this is not working. It's okay. Take a little minute. Mind you, when I am going through situations like that and my mind is just like going insane, I just feel like, you know what? This is just not going to work. And then late night, when I come up with an answer, like, it's not going to work. Like, I've tried every single little thing, it's not going to work. If that same thing prevents you from sleeping every night because you cannot stop thinking about it. And in your mind, it's just like, I don't understand why this is so hard, when I knew at the end of the day, this was for me. Like, this is mine. That's when, in the moment when you feel all that, think of a new plan, okay? It's the same end goal, but think of a new plan. Clearly, what you've been doing or what you've been attempting to do has failed. Do not, that's one thing I will say, do not attempt the same strategy that you've been working on to make your plan push through. Don't keep doing that. We've already seen that it failed and failed and failed. Try something new. Do not change the end goal though. Because, of course, in the midst of you having different paths with the same end goal, you're going to come across breakthroughs. Because maybe, like, okay, I switched from what I did before and now I'm doing this one and it's still not working. Like, what am I missing? And then it's going to make you feel like, okay, maybe it's not for me. Maybe I'm not good at this. Or maybe I don't have as much knowledge as I thought I did. And I will say this, do not ever think that about yourself, okay? I do not want you thinking just because, you didn't get your bachelor's or your associates or you didn't get your master's that you're not enough. You are enough. I'm going to get silent for a minute because I want to say it again because you never know what people are going through out there. You are enough. If no one is telling you that, I will. You're enough. Keep pushing. Do not give up, because if you give up, you're proving to yourself, you know what? I'm not worth nothing. And you are. Do not give up. I feel like blueprints and breakthroughs are so needed in life, because when you keep failing at something and your end goal does not change, is that not a little light bulb for you? Like, you know what? This was made for me. I just have to figure out how to get it done. That's it. I feel like things will be a little easier in life if we thought about that. Don't think of failure like I'm done. Don't do that. The only time that you're done is when you are no longer here on earth. If you're going through all of that, keep pushing. Come up with a different strategy. And sometimes change the way that you look at life. You can't sit here and look at life like, wow, it's like so hard. Yes, I did that. Again, for all the listeners that's been here since season 1, y'all know my little journey to Georgia. So, of course, let's do a little quick Gina talk. So, in terms of blueprints and breakthroughs, right? I was out in Georgia for like 5 years. And when I tell you that my life was in shambles, I mean, like, my life was absolutely in shambles. Like, I was not Gina. I don't know what type of version I turned into. That's another thing. Be careful. When you have your heart set on something that's yours, man, you can potentially become dangerous. Because wait, not like dangerous like that. I'm talking about mindset dangerous. Okay, and y'all can relax. I'm speaking in terms of, the way you start talking to people and the way you start doing things, the way you start doing things that make sure that you win in the end. If ain't nobody gonna say it, I'm gonna say it. You do not win in life by hurting other people, by hurting someone's feelings or laughing at them when they're down. You do not win at life by doing by doing things like that. It doesn't work out. I don't understand why so many people feel like, yep, I'm on this high horse. Look at you. You all the way down there at the bus stop, and look at me driving around. Don't You need to stay humble, because God can switch things in 2.5, you know what I'm saying? And then come to find out that person you was laughing at is now in a vehicle and you at the bus stop. That's why I feel like in life, you always have to focus on yourself, because you can't sit here and want someone else's life. I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that. That life was not for you, and you have to be okay with that. Mind you, when I was out in Georgia, I just felt like I don't know what's going on. I do not understand why I'm turning into this person. When I was out in Georgia, I really started to go back to church and take the time out to focus on me. I had no choice, because I was out there with my dad, and he was like, you know what? So you could get yourself in order, you got to move out, get your own spot, and be by yourself. And I thought that was the best thing he could have ever did, because when I was in my own place and all I had was me, mind you, when you're by yourself, and I feel like that's why a lot of people do not like being by themselves, because if you're in your home by yourself, it's quiet, no family, no friends, it's just you. You have no choice but to sit there and think. Sit there and think about your life and watch it play out. Look at all the bad that you've done in life, and then look at all the good moments that you've accomplished. But you were too blind to see that you are that person. You are that it person and you got things done, because who knows, you could have been deep in a depression right now. Or you could have just been holding on to all the bad that you've done in life. I need you to understand something. When bad things happen in life, either to you or things that you've done, as long as you sit here and look at all that you've done and understand, like, I don't know what that was, but I will never do that again. I will never I will never allow my mindset to ever be in that place again. I will never look at life the way I did at that point where I took it for granted. And, you just have to keep pushing, but you have to take that time out and just be alone. And I'm talking about being alone, being in your spot by yourself, crying, trying to figure out what's going on. In the midst of you crying, sit there and pray. I promise you, praying is one of the best things. It might not happen in that moment, but you're going to feel so much peace. And in that moment when I was out there in Georgia and my daddy kicked me out, and I was in my own spot and all that, I cried. When I say like I cried, I would say like I've cried like for weeks, because I'm just trying to figure out, like, am I turning into someone that no one wants to be around? Like, a lot of people, that's where that pride comes in. Sometimes I need you to sit here and look at the mirror and just say, you know what? I am the problem, but it's okay. I am going to fix this. And that's fine. You just have to take the steps in doing so and be consistent with that, because a lot of people don't realize, if you're turning into an unknown version of yourself, that will mess with you. That will mess with your mindset. That will mess with how you view the world and how you treat people, you know? So after I took that time out and everything, I'm just like, yo, I'm a good person. I am very funny. It's like you come across a moment where you really found yourself and you saw, like, I am enough. And whatever I want out of life, I'm going to get this. I'm just going to get it. I just have to change the way I do things. I have to change my mindset. I have to trust me. I have to understand that I am worthy. I have to know my self-worth. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's nothing but steps, but I just really need y'all to understand, even with these steps, you have to be okay with the breakthroughs. If you sitting here crying and you're just frustrated, it's okay. It's a part of the process. Keep going though. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be okay. I promise you. I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, it's nothing going to be sunshine and flowers. No. I will not lie to y'all. I won't do that. It's not going to be. If you're really focused, it's going to be so many breakthroughs. But I just need you to sit here and come to the understanding, I'm going through this because this is the process. And at the end of it, I'm going to get what I've been working hard for. That's just the gist of it. So to wrap this up, I just want y'all to know, you are enough, okay? If you have to make changes, if you have to go in that mirror right now and look at it and say, okay, certain situations that I was thinking about, I was the problem. And you have to be okay with that. Because if you're not okay with it, you are not going to grow. Do not sit here and think that you're never the problem. There has never been a situation where a person could literally sit here and say, I was never a problem. No, just stop. Get it together. Understand that in certain situations, it was you and it's okay. Just make sure you don't follow those steps again. Okay? So I really do hope that this episode helps someone out there. As always, I will speak with you guys soon.